Donald Trump's strongest base of support his entire time in politics has been evangelical Christians. I mean, that's kind of surprising because Trump is clearly not a religious dude. Trump clearly has a history of hedonism and enjoying, women, right? They grab him by the pussy comment, which of course was gigantic. And anyway, but for whatever reason, evangelicals are like, that's my guy. I guess it's because he virtue signals to them and acts like 2 Corinthians walk into a bar. I love Christianity. It's tremendous. It's amazing. Well, now that appears to maybe, just maybe, be changing a little bit. So this is Jim Baker, who of course is a convicted con artist. The thing I love about him is as soon as he got out of prison, he literally went right back to conning people. He sells these horrendous, doomsday prepper apocalypse bowls with food in it. And I think Michael Brooks and David Griscom one time ate it, and they were like, it is literally the worst stuff I've ever eaten in my life. Anyway, they're gravitating towards DeSantis now, man. I'm surprised to see it. Because that evangelical group, I thought they would never abandon Trump. It was the one group that stuck with him through thick and thin, but now the winds are shifting. Take a look at this awesome video.
We need to watch Ron DeSantis because the Lord is going to use him in a powerful way. I had several years ago a vision that
Oh, look at this guy. I love this guy. Prophet Charlie Shamp, president of Destiny Encounters International. I would love to see the streamer Destiny debate this guy. That would be fun, right? Prophet Charlie Shamp. Dude, what is going on here? What is going on? What's up with his head? I have so many questions. And how do you get the title prophet? Is there some sort of school for it? Is there some sort of permitting process? Do you have to prove a number of miracles that you perform? Like, what is this? What is this? Oh, this is, I already love this.
Is going to use him in a powerful way. I had several years ago a vision that I went into where I saw 2 palm trees, and I saw one of them was planted in California, the other one in Florida. And I said, Lord, what is this, these 2 palm trees? He said, this palm tree from California is Ronald Reagan. This palm tree that is in Florida is Ron DeSantis. He said, Ron DeSantis or Ronald DeSantis is the second, has an anointing similar to Ronald Reagan. And I saw Ron DeSantis as a tree of righteousness, that palm tree. And I saw it uprooted from Florida and brought to Washington, D.C. and planted in Washington, D.C. And as the storms came, he was not moved.
That's right.
There's something.
I love that. That's right. He's telling a story about a vision he had in a dream where God anointed Ron DeSantis to be president of the United States. And his weird palm tree analogy is the most abstract, cerebral, made up thing. And the woman's like, that's right. What do you mean that's right? What does that mean? You have the same vision? Like, what are you saying? These guys are so awesome.
About Ron DeSantis that we need to begin to pray for, we need to begin to look at, because his ultimate future is to have a position in the United States as the president and be planted in Washington, D.C., and he would be like a Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Wow. There's something that's extra charming about the super blatant, brazen con men, right? Like the fraud is so extreme and so over the top that you can't help to look at it and be like, well, goddamn, I tip my hat to you, sir, for the most, how is anybody buying this? You have people on the panel that's right. What's right? What are you talking about? He said he had a vision of God, anointing Ron DeSantis president. How do you even respond to that? How do you even respond to that? Jesus Christ. Now, remember, these were all hardcore Trump people. These were hard, and that audience is probably packed full of Trump people. And now, the televangelist weirdos are starting to go. And it's going to be a process. But remember Pastor Robert Jeffers says he wasn't endorsing Trump when he was a Trump guy last time? One after the other, after the other, after the other. And let me tell you something, guys. This is my favorite fact of all. This has nothing to do with policy. Nothing at all. Why? Because Ron DeSantis, for those of you who don't know this, Ron DeSantis has stood by a 15-week abortion ban in Florida. He's getting pressure from his right, where people are saying, you got to go further. You got to go further. You got, make it to 6 weeks or ban it from conception. Like, go further. Go further. And he hasn't budged. He's saying 15 weeks. So as far as Republicans go, he's one of the furthest left on the issue of abortion, at least as of right now, as governor of Florida. And these guys, abortion is like one of their main issues. And they're like, abortion? Look at me, abortion. I don't care. Ron DeSantis is my guy, bro. This is what we saw with Trump in 2016, right? Where they overlooked all these things where they don't agree with them because they're like, that's my guy. That's my guy. I like him. I like him, how he makes me feel. He gives me good fifis. I get good vibes from him, so that's my daddy, my political daddy, and I will rent out my mind to daddy. That's what they did with Trump. Now it looks like they're doing that with DeSantis. Where the policies they don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not about the policy. It's about they're looking for their political daddy. It was Trump, but now their political daddy is like a raging alcoholic, and he's he was in the mental institution for a hot minute, and they're a little like, I don't know, man, Dad, I'm not feeling dad anymore. So now they found the stepdad is Ron DeSantis, and they're like, that's my guy, bro. Regardless of disagreements politically, he's the palm tree, and Ronald Reagan is the palm tree, and God uprooted the Florida one and put it in D.C., and it withstood the storm, and that's right. Poignant. Very, very poignant, Mr. Obvious, sleazy snake oil salesman. By the way, I love how they have his prepper bucket right next to him. How many scams can you do in one short time period? Are they hawking supplements too? Please, God, tell me they're doing supplements too. Tell me, you remember one of these televangelist guys was literally selling little vials of water, saying it was holy and it would bring about miracles. Remember that? They were selling water. Again, I'm amazed anybody falls for this stuff, but here we go. Do you have any idea how badly I want somebody to show this clip to Trump? Do you have any idea how badly I want Trump to see this? He would go nuts. Because he would, it's slipping out of his fingers, right? It's slipping away, slipping. And he will lash out. And I would imagine Trump going after Jim Bakker and listing his crimes and saying, this guy's a fraud, he's a con man, he doesn't work for the Lord, he works for Satan. When he starts slipping more and more in the polls, Trump, it's going to be a beautiful thing to see. He's going to start shooting a machine gun in every which direction. If DeSantis beats Trump in the primary, Trump is definitely going to run as an independent or as a third-party candidate and just turn the election over to a Democrat. There's no doubt about it. Write it in stone right now. That is exactly what's going to go down. Final point, man. I love the idea, like God, remember, these are Jesus believers, right? The idea Jesus would be looking around and going, yes, who am I in favor of? Get me the guy who bans books. Get me the guy who banned AP African American Studies in high school. Get me the guy who's against raising the minimum wage. Get me the guy who just decided to kick 1.75 million Americans off of Medicaid. That's healthcare for low-income people. Like, Jesus, the hippie commie who was a commie before communism was a thing, is going to go for Ron DeSantis. Again, my question for these guys is always the same. Does God care about elections in Madagascar? What about Botswana? Is God really up on the politics of New Zealand? What does he think about the Supreme Court of Brazil? Like, what? They think God is so involved in just the United States and the super specific, and they don't even believe it. I'm giving them too much credit. They know they're conning. They know they're conning. Because how can you not? How can you not know it? Of course he knows it. Look at his hair, dog. Look at his hair. Now, I know, glass house. I still got my blonde top going, right? But I clipped this dude. You got to give me that. Blonde Kyle surpasses Prophet Charlie Shamp. I love these guys. More of this, please. I want to watch more. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.